Morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. Welcome. Pre-market here at SpartanTrading.com. Wednesday morning, FOMC morning. This is what we do Monday through Friday, as long as the market is open. Welcome to those of you joining us on our live YouTube stream as well. We got some really big tectonic things going on in the background on the macro side. And anyone who tells you they know what's going to happen, don't believe them. Because look, I've been doing this a long time. I've been involved in the markets for a long time. And I have a very busy brain, and even my brain is really having a hard time processing a lot of what's going on. And one thing that's not going away, and we've talked about this ad nauseum now for quite some time, is debt servicing, right? That's a problem, okay? Because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you have to pay for debt servicing, the higher your deficit goes, and the drill, and then you have to put more money. I don't know. It's a problem. Okay, we got, God bless, the House of Representatives, which is Republican run. It's struggling in terms of, I think they want to let it, I don't know if they can cobble together. I think the moderates can cobble something together. But the problem is, this is how the few can dictate to the many, and this is our political system. This is why we're the only one with this type of political system as well. These two-party systems. There are times where it just doesn't work. So we'll see how that plays out. I think that's a real possibility. I think the statistical probability is higher than it was last time. Okay. So we shall see. And then asset sales, like I said, there's big things going on in the background that we have not, as a stock market, haven't had to deal with. One thing at a time, yes, but all these other components together in combination is, I can't even recall the last time we had asset sales like this before. Okay, so it's from countries, sovereign nations. Right? Okay, crude was a larger draw. Be careful with crude, and I'll explain to you in a second why I'm saying that. Okay, there's something's going on that you need to be aware of, and it is a musical chair setup. And the risk reward is for crude on the downside now, not the upside, okay? I've seen this sort of manipulation before, and it's really hard. It's an arbitrage thing going on. So you have to be really careful. I did buy some SEO yesterday, and I told you I have a very little, like this is the smallest position. I mean, it's barely even a pulse in my portfolio, okay? So I think there's a real problem here with this SEO, and like I say, I will go over it with you just to explain to you what I think. Okay. And I do have, just so you know, on SEO, I'm now up to a 1% position in my portfolio. Okay, my commodity portfolio. Okay, because I know a lot of you like to follow me on this stuff. All right. So what happened? Japan balance of trade. Better than expected exports, better than expected imports, better than expected. Leading index month over month, minus 0.4, worse than expected. Don't forget, Australia is one of the commodity centers out there. Australia, this whole Asian, China, this is what they do. Okay. Loan prime rate unchanged. IMM was set. New car registrations down, PPI month over month up, year. Don't ask me how this happens, but down. Inflation rate 6.7 down. That's a biggie out of the UK. Hopefully they get a little bit of relief. Core inflation rate 6.2. So you can see it's starting to abate. I mean, UK is really struggling with this. Okay, here's the PPI stuff down. Everything's down. Import your PPI input lower, right? Retail sales price index down. That's still, and then we have that. Okay. you know, it is FOMC day, and I'll talk about it in a second, but this is a dangerous slope. The central banks, their mantra should be do no harm, okay? They're doing harm globally, these central bankers, okay? With their narratives, and we'll go over that in a little bit because it is FOMC day, we have to talk about it. Construction output, 1% out of the better than expected. Auction, higher out of the EU. Mortgages, 7.31. Don't forget this gap is this is criminal, okay? I mean, this is, and this is the largest spread between the 30-year bond and the mortgage rates for decades, okay? So this is what our banks are doing, mortgage banks are doing, basically is, in order to offset other stuff, they're basically spreading the wazoo out of these products. Anyways, purchase index, mortgage market, 192, ECB, a lot of ECB peeps talking, okay? EIA comes out as well, and then obviously the crux of today is Fed interest rate decision. I mean, there's a 99% chance nothing's going to happen. All right, and like I said, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. All right, earnings. Was there any earnings today? Yes, there was. General Mills. Let's see. I believe they did well. Yes, they did, but they didn't raise guidance, but they did surprise slightly-ish. Okay, so let's talk. Did you know that one oil trader is doing what's going on in the oil market? The trading arm of French oil and gas producer, TTE, is bidding up the U.S. physical crude market. Okay, so you say, well, why the hell are they doing that? I said to myself, well, this actually is pretty brilliant. Makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, so why would they be doing that? Right? If it costs you XYZ, right? So Dubai's $93. This is the Brent is $94, right? Average. This is delayed. Okay. You can buy it here in the States for $89.66, and then you can herb it out and sell it $94.45. That's basically what they're doing, because it's more expensive overseas. Gas, crude, I should say. Okay. So that's what they're doing. They're herbing it. Okay. You do a lot, it's a lot of money. It adds up. I haven't seen anything like this in a long time. And why do I say watch out? Because it's not sustainable. This is not sustainable. So now that everybody knows what's going on, guess what? You're going to go after the dude or do that, whoever it is. Okay. Please be aware. Okay. It's important to understand this. Right. So when this is like that USL when the futures were so messed up and you had that short, it was crazy what was going on. It's not to the same degree, but it kind of is the way this has been going up. And this started basically a couple weeks ago. Okay. You have to understand it's all about supply and demand, right? So this guy is basically sopping up the supply on the U.S. side and basically meeting demand overseas. Brilliant strategy. I think it's brilliant. Anyways, interesting article came out about this, a court ruling on the Supreme Court side on October 3rd. Okay, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, in a case that could potentially declare the agency's work invalid. That would be a shock to the mortgage industry. Okay, I'm just saying this right now. This is a big deal, okay? And this is out of the Fifth Circuit. I actually know one of these, the judges out of the Sixth Circuit, and his wife, who are both just brilliant legal minds. And the fact it's out of the Fifth Circuit doesn't surprise me, but we have to be aware of this. And this could have a very large ripple effect. Just telling you, okay? And not in a good way, okay? All right, so Apple, I keep saying that. Look at all these in the money sweeps, in the money, in the money, in the money, in the money, in the money for 2025, okay? Now, in and of itself, it's bullish, but clearly it's paper replacement. That's a lot of money that they're raising right now, right? Think about it, a lot of money. Okay, so I thought that was unusual yesterday. This is the S&P daily below here. Spartan's on this. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't reclaim it. Like I say, it's a close basis. It's not, let's see if it reclaims it. These are all low volumes. You can see right here. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. Interesting times we're in. Visual capitalist. Did you know? This is why commodity super cycles ebb and flow, okay? But we have a legitimate problem in terms of water, okay? This is due to climate. I know you don't want to hear this, but this is black and white. This is not something we can argue. So India, Indonesia, Nigeria, and China, okay, all are at risk when it comes to water. Now, remember we talked about this, it had to be a year or so ago. China was actually experimenting with creating rain. I don't know where they are in there, but I know that that's what they're doing. They're working vigorously. Now, you know what? I'm sorry. But why can't Chinese inventors, why do we disparage them? Why can't Huawei? Well, there's a lot of stealing that goes on, okay? Right? In terms of ideas. I mean, there's reinventing the wheel and stuff like that. Anyways, but they're working on this. If they can get it done, that would be a huge game changer for these countries and these regions, right? If they can get water by using missiles to create it. I think that's pretty cool. Anyways, story. 25 best stocks, still Apple, top dog. Well, that was last year. German investment in China eases. Oh, the Germans are blinking. I'm the sick man of Europe without change, Deutsche Bank. I agree with this 100%. I think what we're going to start seeing, please don't shoot me. I think there's going to be cracks in the EU. Look, when things are good, but when things are bad, okay, cracks happen. And the German economy will only allow so much for it to say, okay, I really can't be doing this anymore. German industry defies rising pressure to limit China exposure. Bank of England rate hike pause, we know that. What else have we got? Training tactics put Russia on the defensive. Good for them. Tommy boy. All right, so this is likely to be the first FOMC meeting of the current hiking cycle where the Fed neither raises rates nor revises up its forecast. And I agree with that. Okay. And we'll talk about what's important. Did you know when it comes to EVs, copper, manganese, graphite, nickel, cobalt, lithium, other critical metals? Okay. Just saying. This is graphite. Did you know that the largest component is graphite? Okay, lithium, teeny tiny. Right? Nickel. These are why some of these metals, you have to understand them. Okay, why they're I agree with this. Why they're viable. Okay. All right. SPR versus price of WTI. Okay. I have to tell you this. It's really important you understand this. Congress budgets the ability of how much on the energy side that the energy treasurer can buy treasurer of the treasury, you know what I mean. Anyways, now I know that the president can use his acts to drain it. I don't know if the president can use the act to put in. This is a big deal because the Secretary of Energy kept saying this. Okay, I don't have the budget to buy to add to the SPO. So if you're gonna put blame around, okay, be careful who you blame, okay? Because this is a budget issue. If you don't have the money to buy, you can't buy, okay? Just saying, okay? And I'm pretty damn sure if the president could have added to it, he would have added to it because the Secretary, you know, of Energy wanted to buy, and she kept saying, I can't buy because I don't have the money, okay? So like I say, please do your research on this stuff, okay? Flashing over bought, we know why now, right? Long-term treasury fall more than 40% for the no, but still hanging in there. Let's see if the Fed can save the day. CFO anticipates some sort of, I don't know. We will hasten the introduction of more policies. Shock and awe, guys. Stop it. I don't know if there's any gals. I think it's all guys. Okay, shock and awe. Okay, this is the only way you will get out of this. All right, shock and awe. Will they do it? Well, I don't know, but I think, to be honest with you, our friend, she is blinking hard today. I just keep saying this. He's blinking hard. Right? We'll see. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. This is, like I say, this is like a Ponzi scheme. This is shadow banking, whatever. The Chinese are really good at it too. Well, not really, because they're all going belly up. All right. Defaults in August reached the highest monthly totals. Okay. Distressed exchange. This is confidential. This is bankruptcy. Okay. And this is missed interest payments. This goes back to the financial crisis of 2008, friends. Like I say, we got big macro stuff going on in the background. And this is why I'm spending a lot of time on this. 16-year high, many large banks have the Federal Reserve is in the box. We don't know. It's the first episode. The global debt increased by $10 trillion. Global debt surges to record $307 trillion. This is that big macro stuff going on. I don't see a workaround that isn't catastrophic. I said it. I do not see a workaround that isn't catastrophic. Okay. Right. You got to think about these new mechanisms for settlement and trade, and that's where I think it's going to be chipping away at the value of the dollar. I agree. Look, smart people see the same thing. Excuse me. When you have deglobalization, okay, when you have isolationist policies, okay, when you have a Cold War going on, the rhetoric between the US and China, when you have something like BRICS happen, we don't live in a bubble. I keep telling you this, okay? If you didn't know what was going on in terms of asset sales, you would have no idea what's going on with the 10-year. This is the one that they're selling. Sovereign nations are selling the 10-year. Okay, it matters. I know we're a day trading room, but it matters the macro, because if the bonds keep selling off and the yield keeps going up, it matters. Thank you, Roger, on that. This is why I do what I do every single morning is to educate and explain because it matters. I'd expect to stand pat why the S&P 5 comp sees are likely to turn choppy. Yeah, well, you know that there's strong seasonal rally for the next 2 weeks in VIX, right? On the upside, just saying. Okay. This is my friend Victor. Read him. He's really great, really brilliant mind. Very good. He bought when Twins and I bought as well. So rises on OBC Capital starts with outperform rating. Interesting how they knew that for sure. So Pinterest, we know what's going on there. Amazon, Disney, Boeing boosted. I have a small position in Disney. It's like I'm holding my nose right now. Boeing, I don't know what to tell you. I'll let Twins guide us on that one, right? Qualcomm, Wi-Fi 7 platform. Dollar General, we know what's going on there. Quant stock news sentiment measures keep improving. Okay, balance, the Fed is ready to pause again. Command is what matters. Excuse me. Okay, so this is what the Ukrainians are doing. Okay, and this is why we're going to see some of these shipping names. Okay, cost of shipping is going to go up. They're basically attacking ports, right? God bless the little heart. Why took you so long? That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. All right, so Spiro's asking me about making things more balanced and reciprocal and to reduce America's trade deficit, okay? Okay, let me tell you this. Apple pays their workers in China $2.50. Huawei is now paying their workers $3. Moving to India, okay? As long as we have, but don't forget, a lot of these multinationals, they basically, because of the taxes and stuff like that, they're overseas anyways, okay? I think this is a natural progression, Spiro, where other countries are just catching up, okay? And they're making cheaper widgets and we're buying cheaper widgets, okay? You cannot force a country, okay, to raise their price of manufacturing. It's not going to change. So you can say whatever you want to say. This whole chips thing is I think chips is totally different. Don't forget, we're exporting crude. If we make something that people want, they will buy it, okay? But it's all about price points, okay? And I'll be honest with you, if Germany told the United States you have to do that, this XYZ, okay, the United States, what are you talking about? Okay, no country can dictate to another country, okay? They just can't, okay? It doesn't work that way, right? And this is an evolution. That's why BRICS is now existing, okay? Because people are tired of the US making demands. We have to change our mindset. We're basically us against them mindset. And that's what it is, us against them. You may not like it or not, but if you were the CFO of a large corporation and you saw that what you're doing isn't working, right? You would pivot. The US policy isn't working. And one of the prime things that's not working is the US dollar, right? So I just think this is a natural progression over centuries, okay? It ebbs and flows, okay? You know, once upon a time it was Russia and the United States, right? Well, guess what? Now it's BRICS in the United States. I'm just saying. That's my thought on it. Look, I'm a very opinionated person. I have strong ideas. But I'm not an isolationist. I believe in globalization. I think deglobalization is very, very disruptive. And the cause and effect of it is impactful in terms of cost of goods and services. That's historically proven, okay? It's historically proven, right? The rhetoric has to be dialed back, I'm telling you right now, because if China continues down this path and can't stabilize itself, okay, there is no way it's not getting exported, okay? And it causes them to be more aggressive in terms of tariffs and all kinds of stuff, okay? Agree with that, Spiral, but the world we live in is so, you know this, my friend, you're of the same generation as I am, okay? Those days are long gone. I mean, it's like every year, what we knew in the past is long gone. That's why this paradigm shift in terms of what's going on in the market. It's everything we know, it's there and it exists and it's in the background, but okay, you have to be adaptive. And a lot of these old dinosaurs are just not adaptive. And I'm very adaptive to what I see. Okay. All right, let's talk. What is the most important thing that happens every quarter from the Fed? This is what's going to drive the market. Anyone know? Come on, quickly. Everybody knows this. What happens every quarter from the Fed? No participation today, huh? Come on, Roger, help us out. This is the only thing that matters today, okay? Is where they're shifting in terms of rate cuts, rate hikes, or stabilization, okay? So you can see the shift here. And this has been a problem, and I've been pounding the table on this for freaking ass months. The absolute insanity in terms of the rate cuts they were looking for, okay? In 2024. This should be more balanced, okay? They think they're going to get it to 2%. God bless the little hearts. Will not happen. Because the systemic inflation, core inflation, when you stop with the quantitative easing, since 2008, the systemic core inflation is closer to 3.5%, 4%, the reversion to the mean. If they can pivot off this 2%, they got to find a way. Maybe we're going to, if they suspend this 2%, oh my God, the market would rip. Under consideration. I mean, this is what I'm trying to tell you. This is the construct of central banks do no harm. Their policy, they overdid on the quantitative easing. We know this is a fact. Overdoing on the quantitative tightening. Okay, at least they're getting smarter in terms of on the balance sheet side. Okay, there is a structural problem going on. I don't know if these central bankers can get their shit together and get out of this without. Look, either there's no recession, okay, or there's no soft landing. It's that simple. I don't see any gradation here right now. What's going on is so extreme. Palo Alto, my friends, we talked about this. IWM, I followed that. Amazon, gotten some love. Volume is very, 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 very light on this. Tesla would normally average like 40, 50 orders on the sweep side, right? Nothing because of FOMC. Let's see what happens today. Something notable here, this MODV, keep an eye on this one. $42 million on the insider from August 8th for the past month. I think that's notable. AUR, a lot of stuff. A lot of this is going to be on rebalancing 10% owners and yada, yada, yada. People are going to pay themselves, yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. Okay. Finally, we got our peeps back in terms of peepettes. What do we got here? BHC. This is really interesting. This was just a crap. And now all of a sudden everybody loves it. Okay. Azul, that's kind of interesting as well. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. Kimco, Realty, Tammy Stadat, 70% success win rate at Wells Fargo. God bless a little heart. Pins, Pinterest, you know what's going on. Buying and raising and all kinds of stuff. Wingstop, okay. Okay, so where we got? Okay, Chewy. perform to perform, no change in price, zebra, yada, yada, yada. And NCNO, someone understands the construct of a downgrade, 27% from equal weight to underweight. This frustrates me. Zebra got the same thing from Morgan Stanley Meta. Okay, I'm just saying. God bless Meta. Anyways, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Lulu, IBM, initiation. There you go. Okay. Code, Maple Bear, but we know what code is. It's Instacode. I don't know why they're calling it Maple Bear, but there's Instacode. All right. Lulu, IBM, etc. All right. What do you got? Nothing changed really. I mean, this is what you got. Well, this is what you got for the next month or so, friends. Out the Gallagher, Kroger, and American Airlines. The airlines are looking better, and I'm actually thinking of doing some airlines. I'll let you know. I'm actually probably going to do it in the long-term channel. I have to see how far it goes and what I want to do. Okay. So I'm going to probably do a Delta trade just so you know. Okay. All right. Let's take a peek here. What's going on? I'm just kind of stay with this stuff today because. All right. Here we go. Boop. Nope, hasn't updated, so we'll go over here. Big tech is one of the most stocks falling to new lows. This is just stunning. Anyways, huge percentage new lows. Look at that. I mean, it just keeps going up and up and up. This is a disconnect and it's a problem. Okay, I know it's not a problem now, and maybe this is a new paradigm shift. I don't know, but this goes back to 1989. Okay, when this happens, when after 20-day change is greater than 3.5%, new lows are up by 1.5%. Believe it or not, it's bullish. I am really shocked by this, but I'm just telling you. Let's go back to 89, so that's a good data set print for us, right? Same thing, you know, whatever. Financial crisis 2008 was something different. You see here, right? I don't know, I'm just showing it out. Okay, it is what it looks like. Crazy. All right, here we go. Heat map continues to be doing its thing. Okay, Nigeria. Okay, what does that say when Nigeria is the top dog yesterday? All right, so this is starting to get greener, right? Right. So we're seeing all these resets. These are things that are oversold. Right. Here's the 10-day, pretty neutral, except for you can see your lumber, SMH, XRT. So reality is any rally should, once again, meaningful rally should start. The semis across the board should participate. That's what we have to wait for and look for. Okay, I'm just saying. Seasonality wise, you know. Still not good, right? And then, oh, wait a minute, this is October. Sorry about that. There we go. All right. So sloppy, choppy, and then not good. What for pretty much till the end of the month. Okay. Ta-da. Bonds. Yield curve steeping. I'll be honest with you, I would be shocked, literally shocked, if we have any more damage on the inversion. I think we've seen the worst of that, okay, which obviously is positive in some areas, right? Canada's up, everybody else is down. Oh, Canada. And here's our yield curve. You can see this, right? 1 year front end, right? And then it's the back end. It's right? The 7, 5, 10. Okay. All right. We know nothing's going on here, 2.5. It actually continues to grind higher, which is positive, right? 5.10, still holding that 10 EMA on the monthly. 10.20, this is really interesting. Let's keep an eye on this one here, because that's important as well. All right. Especially with the yield curve. 5.30, still holding up fine. 3 month, still fine. So all of these, like I said, I don't think the inversions are going to get any worse. Okay. And the reason being is because the asset sells on the 10-year. Right? It's not in the front end, it's in the back, in the mid. In the barbell side, it's in the mid. Okay. And here we go. Once again, this is starting to 10.3. I like that. And 10-year yield. Okay. Flirted with it, but said, oh my God, I can't deal with this. 436.20. And we're now backing off that. This is, I mean, you look at this chart, guys. And I said to you, the longer we consolidate in the upper quadrant, the higher the statistical probability is that it's going to break out. You know that we do this every day, intraday, right? If it consolidates upper quadrant at the highs, right? The probability of breakout becomes higher and higher. Well, there you go. Okay. So not rocket science here. Okay. 13.15.05, and then we get the 13.015. Let's see what the Fed does. Okay, so for me, there's a couple things I want to talk about, and I'll do it when I get on the mic in terms of what I'm going to looking for, because Spartan has to leave when the Powell starts speaking, etc. Okay, I mean, it's got to be nothing with the announcement. We'll see what the tone of it is. Okay, and you can go to the Wall Street Journal, their embedded tracker, to actually see. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, son.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm fine, thank you. See, this is the Fed. Yes.
Good morning.
Come on, you want to say hi to my friends?
Hi. Hi.
What can I do for you, sir?
Good.
Yeah. What are you going to be model system today?
Your mom says it.
What does that mean?
No, but not yet. But for baby.
Okay. Have a good day, son.
Think about you.
Not today. It's not Friday, dude.
Friday.
Yep, Friday. All right, dollar. Let's take a peek here. It still hasn't broken out. Okay. It's in the upper quadrant. I will continue. I don't care. I'm going to dollar cost average US dollar. This is a long-term, multi-year, decade type event for me. Chinese New Yuan coming back. They really, if they continue to devalue their currency, that's just not going to be good. Okay. Here we go. Cryptos. Whatever. All right. What do we got? Gold, silver, right, copper's up, right, all over the place. Palladium's up, whack-a-mole. Heating, natty gas is down, crude is down. It's literally whack-a-mole. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is what it looks like, right? So it looks like it's probably 55, 45, something like that. A couple things are up. Aluminum's up, zinc's up, right? Copper's up, right? Soybeans is up. Okay, orange juice is up, oats are up, and we don't know yet with that because it hasn't populated yet. DBA agriculture. I think we have to be cautious with this. I'm going to exit my DBA for those who've been following me. We've done really well with this. I mean, to make money on this stuff, guys. I know it's not sexy, but that's what I'm here to help out with, is because of my commodity trading experience. Okay, that's my forte. Big picture commodities. You name it. Natty gas still hasn't broken out. I mean, anyways, still mucking around. Might and muck. This is a multi-month. Well, this is what we'll say. Okay. This is a consolidation pattern, friends. Oh boy. I am going to put that up here. Okay. All right. You know, with commodities, right? Patience, patience, patience. They're not hours, days. It's normally months. Okay, you just have to be patient. Okay, this is building up. This will be a momentum trade. My bias is to the upside. You know that. I've said that multiple times.
All right, Beth, ready to pop on here.
Okie dokie.
Alrighty, guys, morning. What's going on? Let me just pop up the screen share here. We'll get right into it. So if you guys need to chat, haven't already done so, make sure to click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. Pop in a chat and look something a little bit like this. First area to go to when you guys do come in, disclaimer section, click on that, give it a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section. Scroll to the very, very top. Top of the section, you got a link to the disclaimer as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both. In regards to risk reward, guys, the most important ratio in trading. So definitely worth checking out here. You get risk reward profiles, which you can use to match your account size as well as your risk reward threshold. Risk reward calculator, which you can use to calculate risk reward on the go. Use it in conjunction with this. You can do it really quickly. So definitely worth checking out using, guys. I wouldn't be doing anything unless I was starting to apply that. Continue to scroll down. We have summary of how this chat works, breaks all the channels work left-hand side, so you can properly navigate the chat throughout the day. That is important to know where to be looking, how to read alerts below this. From the options and equity side, pretty straightforward there, but it, helps you guys figure out and interpret what we're saying. Continue to scroll down. We have options rules, Spartan's options rules that we use Monday to Thursday for all the options ideas, and definitely worth going through there. SPX rules right below that we use every single day. Any with a small account, less than 10K, breaking down. If you have a smaller account, less than 10K, some rules, information, discipline you can put in place so you can better manage your account right there. And then how to pick ideas from an options or equity perspective right there as well. All right, small account, high conviction small account trades posted in that area when they do make sense as well. So let's take a look what we got going on today, guys. Pre-market tickers and watch, a couple different things. Tesla, Lulu, NVIDIA, BA, CATC, EXAI. So Tesla gapping up in sympathy with the market. Lulu gapping up in sympathy with the market. NVIDIA CEO sold a chunk of NVIDIA shares. A little bit of selling pressure on that today. Boeing. Boeing slightly raises China 20-year demand outlook to 8,560 new planes. Gap it up a little bit on that. And that thing has looked terrible on the daily. So we'll see how well that does hold up. CATC. Eastern Bank shares to sell insurance operations of Eastern Insurance Group to Arthur J. Basically, this is a merger with AJG. So definitive merger agreement, and they're gapping up on that. EXAI. Oh, where did this go? EXAI shares rally on pre-market on lucrative Merck deal. So they got a deal with Merck, and it's gapping up on that. All right, let's take a look at these names from a Tesla standpoint, from a technical standpoint today. Tesla standpoint. All right, let's take a look at the first two guys, Tesla, Lulu. All righty. So Tesla and Lulu. There we go. So Tesla, a little bit of a gap back up here. Not much, but it is something. I'm gonna label all these kind of intraday tight levels for now. Okay. I'll keep these for the FOMC, the further out ones. 266.36 pivot to the upside today. Level holds 268.72 to 273.12 on the upside. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards the 263.36 to 261.12 on the downside. Going to be leaning bullish neutral, looking for a continuation push to the upside today if that pivot point is able to hold. So that is Tesla. Let's take a look at Lulu here. A Lulu slight gap up. The reason I just chose this because I like that flag on the daily. It was on the side charts if you guys saw that as well. Uh, 386.69 pivot level is able to hold. You got room towards 390.46, 395.48. Unable to hold 381.46 to 374.34 on the downside. You'll be leaning bullish, neutral. Looking for a continuation push to the upside today if that pivot point is able to hold. That's Tesla. That is Lulu. All right, that's those two guys. Let's take a look at the next two. We got that NVIDIA, that BA. All right, NVIDIA, a little bit of a gap down. It's kind of coming back to flat basically at the moment. Let's take a look at the single today here. So we got that 50 May that wants to be retested on the upside, in my opinion, still. I'm going to go pivot to the upside today is going to be this level right here. 433.59 levels able to be reclaimed. Room towards 440.94. 453.53 on the upside above that. Unable to hold 422.14 to 414.13 downside leaning bullish neutral. Looking for a continuation push to the upside today if that pivot point is able to hold. That's whoops. So that is NVIDIA. Let's take a look at BA here. And this thing has been and is quite extended to the downside here. Two 485 pivot level holds 207.84, 210.31. The 212.29 unable to hold. We look for a pullback towards 202.31 to 199.29 on the downside. Going to be leaning bullish. Looking for a continuation push to the upside today if that pivot point is able to hold. So that's BA and that is NVIDIA. All right, let's take a look at the next two guys. CATC and then EXAI. So CATC, a little bit of a gap up there, obviously. Uh, 57.65 pivot level holds 59.62, 61.48. Unable to hold. We look for a pullback towards 55.47 to 53.28 on the downside, leaning bullish. We're looking for a continuation grind to the upside here. I think it still looks good for a continued push. Let's take a look at this EXAI. $689. I'm gonna go a little higher than that. Here we go. That should be fine. So 651 pivot to the upside today. Level hold 689 to the 723 spot. Unable to hold 611, 581. Give me leaning bullish out the gate and then looking for some topping for a pullback. So I think we can get a little bit of a pop out the gate and then I'll be looking for a topping to short that name. All right, so that's the individual names. Let's take a look at the spine fang. All right, guys, SPY, here we go. So what do we got? So SPY pivot to the upside today, in my opinion. We used last day high. 443.33 levels able to hold. We got room towards 444.83. Above that, technically, we got room 447.46 to 450.94. Unable to hold, we look for pullback towards 441.35, 439.93, and then below that, 437.97. So obviously, we got FOMC today, guys. I'm expecting some decent range on the market. Should be able to push, I would think, at least 4 or 5 points high or lower, depending upon what we see. But I think we're gonna get some decent range here, and I think we should get some pretty good continuation after. The market's been stuck in a pretty tight wedge on the daily, so we'll see if that does continue to last. If it does hold, and if we do get a push to the upside, I would expect to get to the top end of that range. Or the wedge, I should say. And then obviously if we sell off, this will be broken and we'll, you know, get some nice continuation lower, but you can kind of see the big levels there as well intraday. Basically, if you push to the upside, I'm not expecting the wedge to break to the upside, but if we sell off, I am expecting the wedge to sell or break to the downside. Apple 179.76 pivot to the upside today. Level holds 182.17 to 183.14. Unable to hold, we look for pullback 176.88 to 173.97 on the downside, leaning on the bullish neutral side today if that pivot point is able to hold. That's Apple. Let's take a look at Amazon. $137.68 pivot, level holds 139.40, 141.80, unable to hold 135.38 to 133.05 on the downside, leaning on the bullish neutral side today if that pivot point is able to hold. That's Amazon. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix 395.07 pivot to the downside today. This level is unable to hold. We got room towards 388.07, 377.45. Able to hold 340 or sorry 407.05 on the upside. Actually, be leaning more on the bullish neutral side today. It's slightly extended on the daily to the downside. I think it's got some room to bounce back up. Take a look at Meta and then Google. Uh, 305.99 pivot guys to the upside today. Level holds 308.98, 312.87. Unable to hold. We look for a pullback on Meta into the 303.16 to 299.88 on the downside. Leaning on the bullish neutral side as well there today, guys. Still holding the uptrend channel. I think it can continue to grind higher. Talked about that yesterday, and we'll talk about it today. Still looks fine in that regard. So that's what I'm looking at there. Let's take a look at Google. And if you look at Google's daily, still pretty much flagging here. Very nice looking chart. I think it's probably one of the, I think it is the best looking of the FANG. I mean, it's between that and Amazon. This definitely looks better now. So yes, this is the best looking of the FANG. I like the look here for continuation. 138.37 pivot, level holds 139.20, unable to hold 137.62, 136.53 downside, leaning bullish on this name. So that's a SPY, that's a FANG. Those are the individual names that we're looking at. We had a couple of minutes here, so we'll quickly just quickly rip through the VIX, Qs, and SPX as well. That's the VIX, right? Let's take a look at the Qs. All right, VIX, sorry, the Qs, 370.70 pivot to the upside today, in my opinion. Level holds 371.86, 373.40. Break through that, you get room back to 376.04. Unable to hold 360.933, 366.96, 365.42. Going to be leaning, bullish neutral for now at the gate, and then obviously, whatever happens until the FOMC happens. And then last but not least, guys, let's take a look at the SPX. All right, SPX guys, 444, 443 pivot, I should say. Level holds 44.66, 44.87. Above that, 45.11. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards the 430, 14 to 415.66 on the downside. Going to be leaning bearish neutral if that, bullish neutral if the pivot is able to stay intact out the gate. Then, of course, like I said, we're going to do whatever on the FOMC. So anyways, I'm going to go pass over to South Beach, guys, while I type up the pre-market action plan, and then we'll do a quick little recap before the open. South Beach, if ready, she's all yours for now, my friend.
Hey guys, all right, market's trending up a little bit this morning. Let's see what we can figure out. Okay, let's look at the technicals on the SPYs and the Qs. No support on the daily on the SPYs. Maybe after today there will be. But the weekly, which I use, is still firmly bullish. So I lean neutral to bullish on that. And the Qs chart is basically the same. Okay. Maybe, yeah, basically the same. But I lead neutral to bullish on that one as well for the same reasons. Looking at the transports, let's see what we got that came in yesterday. The daily chart is for shit. But there's nice support on the weekly. So I'm neutral to negative on the transports at the moment. Okay, so neutral to bullish on the first two, neutral to bearish on the transports. Just hope the transports can rally and not pull the other two averages down with them that they often lead. So that's my concern with the transports. Okay, so today we have a Fed day. Let's see the bond market shapes up in front of it. Okay, the 10-year is at that magic 434 level, right? That was my number that I was using because that was the old high. It went through that yesterday, but I said, it really has to go through. It can't just like blip above. So it's sitting at that number, of course, right into Fed day. That makes a lot of sense. Rates on the short end of the curve are unchanged. Rates on the long end of the curve are slightly down. Okay, 2 years at what, 507. So it was hit a high yesterday. I mean, basically all these averages are at 20-year highs, 22-year highs. That's basically the bottom line there. UK rates are down a bunch this morning, a little more on the short end than the long end. Their 10 years 426, ours 434. We'll get into the specifics in a few minutes. And rates are basically flat to down a tinge in the rest of Europe. Okay, that's the bond market. Commodities, we got oil off a little bit today. Okay, it's been in a nice trend on the long side. As long as it's above 80, I remain bullish. My guess is it probably goes to 100. We'll see. Natural gas refuses to move at all. Copper's in a trading range, and these agricultural commodities all in a trading range. Lumber's at 488, so it broke that 500 level. And wheat, funny enough, is at a low. Okay, go figure. With all the bullshit about the shipping and the nonsense with Ukraine, it's at a low. Currency-wise, dollars down marginally against North America, down a little bit against the yen, flat against China, and mixed against the euro and the pound. 106, 123. Basically, we've seen these handles now for what? A week or so, maybe a little more. So that's currencies. Crypto wise, Bitcoin's down 0.5%. Same with Ethereum's down 1%. So that's nothing big. And the foreign markets, let's see what we got. FTSE's up 60. You know, that average is up, I think, what, 5% for the month, 6% for the month on the FTSE. DAX is up 0.6. What else we got? Nikkei is down 0.5%, China down 0.5%, Hong Kong down 0.5%, and Taiwan down 0.5%. Okay, so there's your backdrop. You got the Fed meeting today at 2:00. Okay, with a Q&A and with a statement. Then he makes another statement, I think at 2:30, followed by a Q&A. I mean, the odds right now are 99-1 that he won't do anything. I am fairly confident he's going to say, we don't know what's going to happen next. It's a, wait and see what the numbers are. I don't think he's going to say we're done by any stretch. And he's going to talk a little bit, the rhetoric is going to be, things are improving a little bit, but who knows, that kind of thing. Generally, when you have a Fed day, the first move is generally wrong. And then the market, makes a concerted move in one direction, usually late in the session, the last 20, half an hour or so, 45 minutes, whatever. So don't get faked in from this, from the start. Okay. It almost, I wouldn't say always, but my history with these things is almost always the first move is the wrong move. Okay. So I sit here with my hands folded and wait for the real direction instead of getting chopped up. I think that's the way to trade these things, and has been for a really long time. And any of you guys have been in the room, I mean, I've been singing this tune since I started. All right. And that's that. So that's what's happened with the banks and the Fed. China, nothing major out of China overnight. Russia, we'll talk about. Crypto, we did. Mr. Market yesterday. I mean, the trading has been fairly quiet. I mean, let's call it the way it is. Probably waiting for Fed day, but we'll see. Retail was strong yesterday. Solar stocks was strong. On the weak side, you had big oil and gas, restaurants, China, and machinery. Okay. The Dow was down 100 points by 9. NASDAQ was down just a tension. Dow and the transports were the worst, down 89, but that was a rebound from the lows. Okay, so that's that. So 22-year high on rates, basically, we're seeing here. Mortgage applications actually were up 2% for the week, but they're down 26% year over year. People are watching this UAW strike. They've threatened that if significant progress isn't reached by Friday at noon, that they're going to strike additional plans. We'll see. Right now, what is it? They're asking for 40% increase and over the life of the contract, and basically the auto companies are at the 20% range. So how these knuckleheads think inflation's running 3% is a pipe dream, and that's what it is. Okay, these unions are basically rolling into different companies. First, they started with the UPS, FedEx. They started with who else? There was a bunch of companies. The auto companies, the pilots, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see what's next. All right. Yellen says the U.S. could be, there could be spillover from the weakness in the Chinese economy into the U.S. I think that's possible, right? Ukraine President Zelensky spoke at the UN Tuesday. He speaks, basically, he was, trying to rally the world against Russia. And he has a meeting at the UN Security Council today. Supposedly the Russian foreign minister will be there. So it'll be a little bit uncomfortable, but that's the way it goes. Trump was mouthing off basically that he thinks he can end the war in 24 hours. And Zelensky said, okay, if that's the case, show us your plan. And maybe, maybe it'll work. So we'll see how he responds to that. Hopefully he does have a plan. Let's see. Russia claims to have repelled a missile attack on Crimea. Ukraine counteroffensive is moving slowly, the same old, same old, same old. So the rates are down in England today because the CPI came in better than expected. Okay, it was supposed to come in at 7%. It came in at 6.7%. So you have a CPI of 6.7% and you have a 10-year at 420 something. Seems like the real rates are still negative over there to me, but whatever. Okay. So they had been expecting another raise. I think it was 80-20 at the next Fed meeting for the next Bank of England meeting. And now they're saying it's a 50-50. Goldman's saying that they expect no increase now that they saw the CPI number. India is talking to its citizens. Believe it or not, Canada, of all places, they're claiming that there's been incidents with Indians. I don't know. Canadians are pretty peaceful in my eyes. Insurance premiums are expected to surge for millions of Americans because of all this climate problems we're having. You had the floods in Libya. You have all kinds of shit going on. I mean, global warming, it seems like weather is becoming more of an obstacle, and insurance companies are not in the money-losing business. So you can rest assured they're going to raise your premiums if you can get insurance. I know in the Florida, it's really, really tough. So that's the situation with that. Barclays strategist raised her year-end target on the S&P to 4,600 from 4,300. Index is at 45, so what's that? 100 over 2% from here. She's looking for. Okay. Amazon's hiring 250,000 people for the holidays. Gene Muster prefers Uber over Cart. I think Cart IPO. I don't know if I'd call it an outright failure, but it's getting close to that. All right, what they opened at 42 or something like that, and now it's 32. Yep, it opened at 42. It got up to 42 3/4 and then hit the skids. This is not the best company in the world. Okay. And obviously it's showing it. What's her name was talking, Kathy, whatever, about she didn't play the other deal, which was an ARM. She thought it was overvalued. She was, basically saying she loves Tesla. She doesn't like ARM very much. And the best AI play out there is Tesla. That was her 2 cents. Okay. IRS substantially reduce audits of low-income taxpayers. So I'm not going to even get into it. What else we got? Apple. So who was saying? Someone saying basically, I think it was Goldman, that sales in China of the iPhone are their channel checks, it's below trend. Okay, below expectations. Yesterday, someone said they were above expectations. I don't think anybody knows shit. Okay, they'll see the numbers when they come in. And I have absolutely no opinion, but I do have an opinion that these analysts don't know anything. Because yesterday they were saying they were good. Today, somebody's saying that they're crappy. I don't think these guys know, couldn't find their ass with both hands. Basically, trade the way the stock trades, and the stock over the last 2 days trades bullishly, in my opinion. Disney is doubling its investment in their theme parks. Okay, I mean, when you have a few businesses, you invest in the one that's working, and the one that's working is the theme parks. TV streaming not working so well. All right, so that's what Disney is up to. That's basically it on the news. Okay. This reminds me of the last Fed meeting when we traded up into the meeting also, the way it's going here. General Mills had good numbers. Cody raised guidance, and Steelcase was positive as well. Wing got an upgrade from, who was it? I think it was Wedbush, if I'm not mistaken. JP Morgan raised their quarterly dividend by 5%. EXAI has an AI drug discovery collaboration with Merck. That's got to be positive. But if you recall, RXRX did the same thing with NVIDIA. And after day one, it's been a straight down affair. So be careful. Okay. Stock went from what, 17 to 8. So probably does not have legs. Momentum names was Histo and RNAZ. That means momentum means they're up on no news that I could find. Okay. CZOO, restructuring to reduce debt. Paramount is launching in Japan in a joint venture there. Neo priced that $1 billion convert. You know my feeling on giving money to these guys to improve their business. I don't understand. IBM was initiated outperforming RBC. We were trading that yesterday. Lulu got a big upgrade out of Needham. I don't really like Needham Research, to be honest, but they like Lulu and ONON. 470 target in one, $40 target in the other. Okay. Is anything else? Yes, and CATC is up on a merger with EBC. On the short side, you had and Hain got insider buying. On the negative side, this SPRY got a complete response letter, stocks in the shithouse. Momentum names is this BRDS, which I sold half of it yesterday. I have a little bit left. SEEL had negative top line results for a phase 2 study, and that stock's down on that. Tasha had negative PR, and they will discontinue the drug. GRRR is doing a convert 25 million. EBC is down on that merger. Zebra was downgraded by Morgan Stanley. NCNO was downgraded by Morgan Stanley as well. Zebra was downgraded, I said, and Chewy was downgraded by OPCO. That StockX terrible. I really think it's a good company, but whatever. Okay, so as far as group rotation, obviously oil stocks, they went down with oil prices going up, so now they're down with oil prices going down. So I think this group can be on the short side, being that they didn't go up when prices went up. So, and what else am I thinking as far as group rotation? If they can hold rates steady, I think you'll get a tech rally. Okay, that's kind of what I'm focusing on. So if these rates come through with the Fed and they can take them down a little bit, I think these stocks are pretty well considering the rise in rates. So if there's no more rise, that's the perception. These stocks should do better and lead the market. This market always does best. US market always does best when tech leads the way. I mean, almost every time. All right. And that's my thinking on that. I think, you'll have 2 days today. You'll have the first part of the day, which you probably should be out of positions by 12:30-ish, 1 o'clock at the latest. All right. And then we'll see what happens with the Fed. Okay. And that's day 2. Day 3, tomorrow, usually reverses whatever happens today. Okay. That's been the prescription of trading Fed days. Okay. And that's worked out pretty well. So don't think it's going to, continue whatever way it goes, whether it's up or down. Usually the next day reverses that trend. And that's it for me. Okay. I don't have a lot of positions. I think the trading is kind of too choppy for my blood. And we'll see what happens. Okay. I'm going to pass it to my boy Spartan, and let's have a good day, guys. Spartan, it's all yours.
All right, thank you, South Beach guys. Morning, what's up? What's going on? So if you guys are new to chat and never done so, make sure to click on that Discord link that's emailed to you. You're gonna pop into chat, so it's something a little bit like this. Sorry, guys. First area to go to when you guys do come in, click on the disclaimer section, give it a read, as well as go to the new chat information section, scroll to the very, very top. Top of the section, you got a link to the disclaimer right below this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both in regards to risk reward, guys. Most important ratio in trading, so definitely worth going through and checking out there. Risk reward calculator, risk reward profiles, basically all the stuff that you need to understand how it works. A couple of different risk reward videos as well. Continue to scroll down. We have the summary of how this chat works, breaks all the channels work on the left-hand side, so you can properly navigate the chat throughout the day. That is important in order to be looking. Continue to scroll down. We have how to read alerts on the options and equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Below this, options rules that we like to use Monday to Thursday in regards to controlling risk, scaling in, scaling out, reading different price contracts. Continue to scroll down. SPX rules that we use every single day for the SPX ideas. Continue to scroll down below that. Any of the small account less than 10K, breaking down if you do have a smaller account less than 10K, or some rules, information, discipline you can put in place so you can better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an options or equity perspective below that. And lastly, high conviction small account trades posted in that area when they do make sense. All right, let's take a look at what we got going on today, guys. Pre-market tickers on watch. So if you guys are on the YouTube stream, you can simply just pause this here and just read over some of the action plan. You can see all the charts that are posted as per usual, and then options ideas. We have these options ideas as well. There we go. All the levels, etc. that Beth put out. All right, so pre-market tickers on watch, guys. What are we looking at today? Tesla, Lulu, Nvidia, BA, CATC, and an EXAI. Tesla gapping up typically the market, same with Lulu. Nvidia sold a chunk of the CEO sold a chunk of Nvidia shares, but it's kind of coming back to flat now. Boeing slightly raises China 20-year demand outlook to 8,560. New planes gapping up on that. CATC, Eastern Bank shares to sell the insurance operations of Eastern Insurance Group to Arthur J. Gallagher, enters into a definitive agreement to merge with Cambridge Bank Corp. Gapping up on that. And EXAI shares rally pre-market on lucrative deal. Let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint intraday. First two, Tesla and Lulu. Take a look at these from a technical standpoint. I love that Lulu daily though as well. Nice little flag setup. Tesla 266.36 level holds, 268.72, 273.12, unable to hold, 263.36 to 261.12 on the downside, leaning bullish. Neutral, looking for a continuation push to the upside today. Lulu pivot upside today is going to be the 386.69 level holds, 390.46, 395.48, unable to hold, 381.46, 374.34 downside, leaning bullish, neutral on that. Let's take a look at Nvidia. Let's take a look at BA. All right, Nvidia guys, pivot to the upside today. 433.59 level holds, 440.94, 453.53. Unable to hold, 422.14 to 414.13 downside, leaning bullish, neutral there. If that pivot's able to hold, BA pivot upside, guys, is going to be the 204.85 level holds, 207.84, 210.31. Unable to hold, 202.31 to 199.29 downside, leaning bullish, neutral there. Let's take a look at CATC and EXAI. CATC 57.65 pivot level holds, 59.62, 61.48. Unable to hold, 55.47 to 53.28 downside, leaning bullish, neutral there if the pivot's able to hold. EXAI 651 pivot level hold, 689, 723. Unable to hold, 611 to 581 on the downside. Going to be leaning on the bearish side, looking for a pop and then topping out the gate on that name. Let's take a look at the spine of the fang. Market guys, pivot to the upside today is going to be 443.33 level holds, 444.83 to 447.46. Unable to hold, 441.35, 439.93. I'm going to type this up real quick as well as I do. The SPY 443.33 pivots to the upside today. This level holds. Room higher into the 444.60. 83. Resistance breaks. We see the 447 and 46 tested. Pivot unable to hold. Room lower into the 441.35 support breaks. We see the 439.93 tested. Leaning bullish. Neutral for now. So basically leaning bullish, neutral, looking for a continued push to the upside today. If that pivot's able to hold, of course you got FOMC later, so we'll see how we react on that. But right now we're looking good for a continued grind higher to the upside. So that's the way I am leaning for now, my friends. All right, so that's that. Let's take a look at let me just delete this. Let me post that. There you go. Okay, let's take a look at the rest of the FANG. Apple pivot to the upside today is going to be 179.76. Level holds 182.17, 183.14, 183.44. Unable to hold 176.88 to 173.97. Leaning bullish neutral there. Amazon pivot to the upside today. 137.68 level holds 139.40, 141.80. Unable to hold 135.38, 133.05. Leaning bullish neutral there. Let's take a look at Netflix. Pivot to the upside today is going to be 395.07 level holds 407.05. Unable to hold 388.07, 377.45 downside. Leaning bullish neutral there. Meta 305.99 level holds 308.98, 312.87. Unable to hold 303.16 to 299.88 downside. Leaning bullish neutral there. And then last but not least, guys, Google 138.37 level holds 139.20. Unable to hold 137.62 to 136.53. All right, VIX, Qs, and IWM. VIX pivot to the downside 1405 levels, unable to hold 1369 to 1340, able to hold 1434 to 1476. Not leaning any particular direction there. QQQs off the lows, looking decent. 370.70 level hold, 371.86 to 373.40, unable to hold 369.33 to 366.96 on the downside, leaning bullish neutral there. And then SPX. For 44.43 pivot level holds 44.66 to 44.87. Unable to hold 44.30 to 44.15 on the downside, leaning bullish neutral there. So that's a SPY. That's the FANG. Those are the individual names that we're looking at today, guys. We'll see what happens. Should be an interesting one. Obviously, FOMC in a little bit. You guys want to come pop in a chat? Join us. We're going to be obviously, we stream every single day, all day live from 8 till 4 p.m., 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So come join us. And yeah, thanks for watching.